What's going on, you the tube? I am HotMessNess, MUA, otherwise known as Vanessa. And I think you guys know I don't really go in with a lot of the things that are on trend. Like if it's trending on a page, I probably would be really late to the punch. But something did interest me, and it is this glass skin technique. Essentially using very little product, really buffing it into the skin. And I wanted to try that with you guys, see how it works for mature skin. I was most especially interested because I've been doing a lot of glycolic and lactic acid in my routine, and recently when I started the tingling stuff from Tarte, I have some peeling happening here. Before I started that, I would find that my foundation would kind of peel from right here because, cat, get down. My foundation would kind of peel right here throughout the day, and I just feel like that's because the skin is being turned over. So I thought that this technique might actually be good for me. But it requires a lot of buffing, so I might kick up some of that skin too. It could go one of two ways, really well or badly. So we're gonna try it together, and I think it's also a good thing to see on mature skin. So as you guys know, I think I fit into that category. One of the things that is most heavily stressed in this technique is your skincare. So I've already done my oils and moisturizing. I did a lot of moisturizing, and I'm gonna use some moisturizing kind of primers. I am going to start with the anti-aging hyaluronic antioxidant treatment with peptides from Jouer. And I want to put it on with a brush. Okay, I'm gonna just use this stippling brush because it's accessible. That's the one thing I found about this. It was like all about your brushes. So we're gonna put this on, and you'll see I'll instantly get my redness going here. That is my area that's an issue. So if this doesn't work, I just might have to be sans makeup for a while or deal with the peeling. All in the name of beauty, huh? But I am taking a break from those acids because I just want to keep an eye on that area. I want to make sure I'm not doing too much. A little peeling's okay, but you know, right here is painful when I put anything abrasive on it, so that's not always a good thing. I'm also going to use a little bit of the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base because that's real creamy, moisturizing like. And same thing. I kind of, when I saw a lot of these videos, I thought, oh, I already kind of do my makeup like that because I do a lot of bases, if you will, and blend and base and blend, but I still use a sponge. So I am curious to see the effect when you just go in with all brushes and no sponges. It may take longer, but you know, we'll see. Voila, done. Just kidding. All right, so a lot of different ones that I've seen was like if you have a lot of blemishes, go in and spot correct first. I like to do that kind of anyway. I'm gonna take a little bye-bye under eye and hit some spots that are a little crazy, that might need a little bit more. And you know, the key with all this was just less product, more blending, because you want it to become part of like your skincare, and that might have already been too much product. I also think a lot of this has to do with brush choices. I think I need a denser brush. This one's cute, but I'm gonna take this little Morphe that I've never used before, the G40. And I think I've already put on too much. So I'll probably have to spend a long time blending. So you're going in and you're putting it on the spot and blending outward. I think that's already covered up my little dark spot there. We're gonna go right in with the foundation. We're just gonna do that. Because if you look really close, you can see I'm starting to lift, but that could just be my skin exfoliating. I'm gonna take the Burt's Bees Goodness Glows and some It Cosmetics CC Cream, because those are both light. This happens to be the CC Cream in the Illuminating, and I don't want to go in crazy with my brush, but I'll just do a couple spots over here, and then I'll take this brush. This was one of the Tarte, I think it was the Nicole Concealio, but this is a softer brush, so hopefully I won't kick up so much of the peeling from using the brush too much. So I'm just trying to, oh, that's better. Okay, maybe not go in with the first one like I did. All right, so let's start down here. Tiniest amount of product.
Got some on my finger.
Like softly with the brush, softly.
You're kind of micro exfoliating anytime you use a brush, so I don't know. It might just be the process while I'm waiting for the skin to die down. I think that you're still getting that kind of full coverage kind of feel, because I think everyone wants to look like they have their own skin. They just want their skin to look perfect. But really buffing it in will bring down, you know, the texture and all the things that you get when you keep adding layers and layers onto your face. How is it? Oh, it's taken it. It's taken the makeup so far. You can always go back over things, I think. So far, my presumption is you have to have a dense brush that still happens to be soft, and you need to take your time. And I'm barely just whooshing it on. See my forehead, you can still see the lifting a little bit, and I think that that's just gonna be my struggle for a little while until my skin gets used to the exfoliation and I get it on the right kind of path, you know. Once you get it evened out, then I might like it better. But it's almost like in that in-between moment, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to have your face kind of peel off? And it sounds bad. It's not that bad. It's just more noticeable when you put on makeup. It's not as smooth. So the videos that I watched, a lot of people that were teaching this technique said that you can use any foundation. You just have to take your time.
Foundation in so long.
Now I blend like this with powders, not usually layer on layer of cream. I do want a little more coverage, so I'm gonna do a little bit of the CC cream and a little bit of the peachy matte that I love so much. Just want to build up a little bit more coverage in certain areas. So I'm going to barely dab a little and just spend time buffing that in. And run my brush right into my eyeball. That's good too. My cheek does not seem to want to take that color though. I mean, I know the idea behind this is you'd still have your own skin peeping through, but I don't want to look all like, oh, blotchy. I mean, I always have a little bit of that blotch right there. Sans the need for the glycolic and whatnot. Forehead looks a little sad. It's like it's not grabbing the makeup, and I don't think it's the makeup or the primer. I think my face is just like, no, I don't want you to put anything on me right now. And I've been going days without makeup. I want to put some on. So I've seen people dab it on, I've seen people do different things, so I'm just gonna go boom, boom, very light. Probably should have just did one eye at a time. That I do like. Kind of gonna wipe and blend. All right, the nose is a little red and I have the redness on the side, so I'll go boom, boom. I'll go back to where I want more elsewhere in a moment. All right, I'm gonna take the original brush and go around. I don't want that stark concealer moment. And I'm gonna do a little bit more under the eye again. It's definitely a lot less concealer, that's for sure. I'm gonna take some onto the lid, brighten up here. I definitely don't look like everybody else. Probably have a lot more makeup on than some of these other people I've seen do this. Nothing really wants to sit right into my skin, but I feel like that's my skin right now. I probably should have used less product. But we're gonna go through and set it anyway. I'm gonna use a lighter finishing type powder. I'm gonna use the ambient lighting because I wanna test this out anyway. I'm gonna use a big, fluffy, this is the Bye Bye Pores powder brush. And we're just gonna really lightly, and this gives you kind of a sheen, so maybe I'll be able to keep the skin like. I've seen some people use loose powder. I really don't like loose powder. I've got separation here. It's just not my time. Maybe I will have to try this again when my skin calms the F down. I don't like that brush. We're gonna try a wing gloss, a little airbrush action. I do, however, like this powder, but you can still see all of my hyperpigmentation that I get right here, which is fine because you're going for that skin-like, but you still want it even skin-like. So I don't know. Maybe this just was not for me. We shall, however, continue. My peeling is coming through. We'll just pat that through. We'll just pat. All right, so we will go on to the bronzer because it just seems like the right thing to do, even though I am now over this. We'll use a little brush. I usually use a bigger one for this. Same kind of thing, it's a Morphe brush that I usually use. But because we're trying to stick with the theme of we've had our skin pleasantly airbrushed, glass, blah, 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 or just think some things aren't made for you. Like, oh, this was not made for me, or not this particular point in my life. Like people that are like, oh, glass skin, and they already have amazing skin. They can put on a BB cream and you're like, please shut up. Not saying I have awful skin, but there are some things I'm working through right now. And it is not, you know, it's just not adjusting to this technique right now. I just feel like I could have gotten similar results from a BB cream and not as much buffing, but I feel like that might, again, be because my face is peeling right now. You have to let me know if you guys do similar techniques, what you think. Or is this just for people with really unproblematic skin? So they're like, oh, you can do this if you have blemishes. You can do, I'm like, okay, you can do this as long as your skin's not peeling off a layer. I'm just gonna blend with the original one. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'll be right back. I'm pretty sure I have peanut butter in my teeth, but it's been on my face for a minute. I have had this whole glass skin on my face for a couple hours, and I really like a lot of the approaches to this technique. It is not working for me right now. If you get super close to my face, you can see that I'm just peeling. And that is because I'm doing a skin turnover right now. I think that this could definitely work for people with more mature skin. Less is more, but at the very base of everything, why this is such a cool technique to kind of go viral is blending. And I strongly believe in blending. I am like all about it, especially when it comes to powder products. You know, I'll put down my bronzer and then I go over my entire face with like a setting powder. And I never even thought of it before as like Hourglass or whatever. I just use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish to blend everything out, because as popular as, you know, the stark highlight contour is in bronzer, in real life it can be almost like you got a brown line right here, girlfriend. But it is also something that I do enjoy seeing, especially on camera. You see, you know, beauty gurus with the real defined line here. It looks good. But in real life, it doesn't always translate as well. So I love the process with these techniques, and I think that they're good lessons to learn. I like how the concealer looks, especially because as I've gotten older, it can get kind of crepey under here, and I feel like blending with a brush is, you know, the way to go back to. I will definitely try out this whole process again when my face calms down, and I'll let you guys know. What do you guys think? Leave me comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah! Bye.